I still remember the sound of their laughter echoing through the hallway, the day they thought I was gone. My name is Elena, and for 32 years I poured everything I had into my family. After my husband passed, I built a successful clothing empire from nothing. Late nights, sacrifices, tears, I never showed them. I gave my children the best schools, my siblings financial help whenever they asked, and my extended family a safety net they came to expect. I thought love and loyalty flowed both ways. But in my late 50s, everything began to crack. I was diagnosed with a heart condition. Nothing immediately fatal, but serious enough that I needed rest and care. Instead of concern, I saw something else in their eyes. Relief. My daughter Sophia, my eldest, started whispering on phone calls about what we'll do with the estate. My son Marcus suddenly visited more, but only to ask about the will. My brother David, who I had bailed out twice, began pressuring me to transfer properties. While you're still able, the greed was no longer hidden. It was bold, hungry. The betrayal cut deeper than any illness. These were the people I had loved, protected, and carried. And they were already dividing my life like vultures circling a dying animal. One quiet evening, sitting alone in my big empty house, I made a decision that would change everything. If they wanted me gone so badly, I would give them exactly what they wished for. I called my trusted lawyer, Mr. Richard Hayes, the only person who had stayed loyal through the years. Together we crafted a plan. I would stage a serious health scare, a private hospitalization, followed by the news that I had passed away peacefully in my sleep. We prepared documents, a fake obituary, and instructions for a small private memorial. I wanted to see their true faces once the mask of family was removed. The day came. I checked into a quiet private clinic under a different name. My phone was turned off. Mr. Hayes handled all communication. Within hours, the message spread through the family. Mom is gone. And that's when the celebration began. I wasn't truly gone, of course. I was watching everything through carefully arranged security cameras and updates from Mr. Hayes. What I saw shattered the last pieces of my heart. The very next morning after the news, my house, the home I had built, turned into a battlefield of greed. Sophia arrived first with her husband. They went straight to my study, opening drawers, searching for bank documents and jewelry. I watched her try on my favorite pearl necklace, smiling at herself in the mirror as if she had earned it. Marcus showed up loud and drunk with joy. Finally free, he said, raising a glass with his friends. No more listening to her lectures about hard work. They laughed. They actually laughed while toasting my death. My brother David wasted no time. He started calling real estate agents to value the properties I owned. He told Sophia and Marcus that as the only brother, he deserved the biggest share. Within 48 hours, they were fighting like strangers. Accusations flew. Old secrets were thrown like knives. Sophia screamed at Marcus for being irresponsible with money. Marcus called her a spoiled princess who never worked a day. David threatened to contest the will if he didn't get more. It was disgusting and heartbreaking. I sat in that small clinic room, tears streaming down my face, realizing how little I had truly meant to them. All those years of birthdays, holidays, helping them through breakups and failures. It was all conditional. My value was in what I could leave behind. But pain has a way of turning into steel. On the third day, they held the private memorial at the house. I watched the footage with a strange calmness. Only a few close friends looked genuinely sad. The rest performed their grief like actors on a stage. Sophia wore black designer clothes and dabbed dry eyes. Marcus gave a speech about what a difficult but strong woman I was. The hypocrisy made my stomach turn. Mr. Hayes played his part perfectly. He told them the will would be read 2 days later at his office. He hinted that I had left substantial assets and that everything was in order. Their eyes lit up. The fighting stopped immediately. Now they were united again, united in excitement for my money. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying memories of holding Sophia as a baby, teaching Marcus to ride a bike, lending David money for his failed businesses without ever asking it back. How did it come to this? But by morning, the sadness had burned away. What remained was clarity and a quiet, burning resolve. They had shown me who they really were. Now it was my turn to show them who I had become. The day of the will reading arrived. I dressed carefully in a soft cream blouse and pearl earrings, the same ones Sophia had tried on. My heart was steady. Mr. Hayes picked me up and we drove to his office. The family was already seated when I stepped into the room. The silence was deafening. Sophia's face went ghost white. Marcus dropped his phone. David stood up so fast his chair fell backward. "Mom?" Sophia whispered, voice trembling. I looked at each of them slowly. Yes, it's me. Alive and standing right here. Mr. Hayes began reading the new will I had prepared. Every word landed like a hammer. To my daughter Sophia, the vacation home she always wanted. But only after she completed 2 years of full-time community service and financial education courses. No early access. To my son Marcus, the investment accounts, released gradually over 10 years, with strict conditions and professional oversight. To my brother David, a one-time payment, exactly the amount he still owed me from years ago, nothing more. And the bulk of the estate? A new foundation in my name to help single mothers and women rebuilding their lives after loss. The rest would go to charities and loyal longtime employees who had actually been there for me. The room exploded. "You can't do this," Marcus shouted. Sophia started crying, real tears this time. "We're your children." I looked at her calmly. "You stopped being my children the moment you celebrated my death." I told them everything, how I had watched their celebration, how I heard every cruel word, how their greed had killed whatever relationship was left. David tried to apologize, but the words felt empty. Sophia reached for me, but I stepped back. "I loved you," I said softly, my voice breaking for the last time. But love without respect is just another cage. I'm finally setting myself free. I walked out of that office with my head high. For the first time in years, the weight on my chest was gone. In the weeks that followed, some bridges burned completely. Others? Maybe time will tell. But I no longer carry the burden of their expectations. I travel, I garden, I sit in silence without guilt, and I sleep peacefully, knowing my money will help women who truly need it. If there's one thing I've learned from all this, it's this. Never let anyone treat your life like it's already over while you're still breathing. Sometimes the greatest revenge isn't destroying others. It's choosing to live fully, freely, and without apology, even after they've shown you their true colors. Because in the end, the best revenge is becoming someone they can never break again. And I finally have.